Hi everyone, it's Sergey here, and today I want to show you how I approach the implementation of my software project ideas, and maybe not only the implementation, but also the validation of my ideas that I perform, or at least try to perform before starting to work on the actual implementation. So this video will be entirely informal. I don't want it to be too long and boring, but we'll see how it will go. Maybe it will be long and boring, but I hope it will not. I will not dive deep into details, just a high level overview of the entire process and just some of my thoughts. You may agree with them, you may disagree with them, so please go to the comment section and write your thoughts and describe your approaches and techniques that you use for your projects. So the story behind this project is the following. One day I realized that I would like to have an application that would allow me to enter some basic financial information about myself. For example, my income, my expenses, my financial goals, and so on and so forth, and then provide some insights regarding, for example, when I will be able to buy something. For example, I want to buy a car, or I want to buy some expensive device like laptop or whatever. So I would like to receive some insights regarding these, when I will be able to purchase these, that, or I don't know, some other thing. Taking into consideration my financial situation, capabilities, and purchasing power. Or, for example, how much money do I need to save each month, or each week, or each year in order to be able to purchase something by some specific date? Or what is the risk level of running out of money if I do that or this or that financial decision, and so on and so forth. So I want some tool that will allow me to be sure in my decisions, and maybe conduct some initial validation and analysis of my desires and my decisions. So first of all, the idea of this project was quite specific, if I can say so. So it wasn't too broad. But then I decided to implement the entirely fully fledged budgeting app that will contain all the functionality that I described before, but also some general features that most of the budgeting apps have. Why did I decide to do so? Uh, I'm working in an IT company. Uh, you can check out my LinkedIn profile and um, learn a little bit more about my company and about my experience. And for example, if you need some help with the implementation of your ideas for your business or enterprise, please contact me or our company in general, and we'll definitely uh, like to have a conversation with you and try to help you. So each person who works at our company has their own personal development plan. And in the scope of this personal development plan, you have to work on some kind of pet projects to learn new technologies, to understand and dive deep into the familiar technologies for you. And it is especially relevant if you're working at the position of a software engineer. So I decided to take this project as the project on which I will be working on in the scope of my personal development plan. And yeah, so first of all, when some idea comes to my mind, I just take a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen and write down the general thoughts, general features, and try to describe my product vision, what features will it have, how it will look like, and so on and so forth. So let's open up Google Documents, and I will show you some concrete examples. Um, we will take this budgeting app as an example. So let's open up the old version of the document. First of all, and what I want to show you, I just write down some general thoughts regarding my idea. I describe my idea, and then I make some, I don't know, what do we call them, design drafts of some basic screens that I want to have in my application. For example, here you can see the getting started screen, sign up screen, sign in screen, and then a couple more. For example, what did I call it? Analytics screen, category screen. Here we can see some chart. So basically, I want to have interactive charts in my application. By the way, I forgot to tell you that this project will offer mobile and web clients. So I need to create designs for the mobile and web clients in parallel. And yeah, basically, uh, usually I start off a piece of paper and pencil and just write down some notes, some descriptions, and so on and so forth. And then I just take these notes I have just written down and create a new document, for example, in Google Docs, and start describing and writing the product vision. As you can see here, this budgeting app is intended to help people effectively manage their finances, make confident purchasing decisions, and set financial goals. It represents a system that provides valuable insights and metrics regarding the user's financial situation and encourages them to constantly enhance the quality of their lives by cutting down on the consumption of things they don't need. So, yeah, and then I just highlight some fundamental and crucial features that will be implemented in the scope of the MVP. In our case, it is user authentication, currency management, transactions management, financial goals management, planning budget by categories, and data visualization. And then I also added a couple more features, advanced features that are of a lower priority, but they can also be implemented in the scope of the minimum viable product. And these are notification system and PDF Excel report generator. So I think that these two features will be quite useful for the end users, and I'll try to validate these ideas through the lens of my experience, my desires, and I would definitely want to have these features in my application. So I will use it quite often. And then I create a section which describes which screens, pages, maybe modal windows I want to have in my application. As you can see, here we have some getting started screen. Maybe there will be a couple of them. Sign up screen, sign in screen, financial data screen, where we are able to enter some information about our finances, about our purchasing power, our expenses, and so on and so forth. They can be different. They can be recurring, non-recurring. They may be fixed, non-fixed, and so on and so forth. And by the way, the budgeting app is quite hard and difficult to implement because there are a lot of edge cases and tricky and challenging situations you have to work through and think about, because yeah, you should approach the implementation of projects like these very seriously, because you're responsible for some material things for finances of other people. You don't want to provide some falsy and foolish insights and lead people to making some wrong financial decisions. So yeah, here I have a bunch of screens, some general description of what do they have, what buttons do they have, what should happen after a user clicks a button. And let's jump to the section with the competitors. So because it's mandatory to analyze the existing solutions from the potential competitors. And where do I search for competitors? If I'm not mistaken, I used a platform called Sensor Tower. Yeah, and you can go to this platform. Um, yeah, to the overview section and just enter some kind of prompt, for example, budget in our case, and take a look at the existing solutions out there, the platforms they support, the approximate amount of downloads, probably monthly downloads, and some approximate income the developers of these products receive. And yeah, I use this platform, first of all, to validate my project idea in terms of its profitability. Then I wanted to understand if users use applications like this at all. You can understand this by looking at the number of monthly downloads. And each product has its description where you can see some key features and general information. And it is quite useful in most cases. So you can just write down some key features each product offer, and then look at them together and highlight some features that you faced most frequently that are present in almost every existing solution. And it will mean that you will definitely have to implement them as well in your products. Then you can, for example, let's take this application, Rocket Money. You can take the name of this application and just go to App Store or Play Market, depending on which platforms they support. For example, Rocket Money, App Store. And what you want to do is to research the reviews, the user reviews about these applications. You want to understand what things they don't like and what things they do like. So it's not only important to analyze flows of the existing platforms, but um, you have to know about the strong sides of the existing applications that you will have to implement in your solution. And yeah, you just read through all these reviews and write down some key key points you face most frequently, and your ultimate goal is to cut down the number of flaws as much as possible and implement the good sides of these apps, or at least try to implement the good sides of these apps better than they are in the existing solutions. Let's go back to my document, and here I chose Rocket Money. Formerly, the former name of this app is Truebill. Is Truebill. Then I took every dollar. Some bad reviews about them. You can pause this video and read the information I wrote here. Then Spending Tracker is quite an old app. with quite old design. I don't like it, but it is it is entirely functional. It has decent reviews, so it's a good example to take into consideration. Obviously, this design is horrible, but you can take the main concept and make it better. And it is the overall idea of implementing your software products. So it's quite hard to come up with something entirely new nowadays. And the easiest way to get started with something is to take some existing solution and just try to make it better. Sometimes you will not be able to make them better. Sometimes your idea looks better in your imagination than it is actually are, and it is actually oh, I don't know how to say. So yeah, sometimes your idea looks better in your head than it um, it actually happened to be implemented. I don't know, in the real world or something like this. I hope you understood what I wanted to say. So yeah, and the last application I chose is budget from Ukrainian developers. I live in Ukraine, so I was highly interested in this project. And yeah, based on the features and reviews of the existing apps, you can try to come up with some portrait of your target audience. As you can see, I have 5 points describing my target audience, but they are quite general, and I'm not good at analyzing my target audience, and it is the skill I have to develop because it's quite versatile. It can be applied for multiple purposes, and it will come in handy for every single project you embark on. Then I went to the platforms like Dribble that offer some designs from other people, and you can use these platforms just for some inspiration. I used I used this platform just to get some understanding of what color palette I want to have in my application and what color palette I want to use in my application. So as you can see, this designs doesn't have all the screens, so there are only a couple of them, but the main purpose of doing a research like this is to understand what, I don't know, main screens you want to have in your application and the main concepts of the design of the layout you want to use. For example, we can see some designs for the mobile application related to finances and some designs for the mobile application. By the way, I chose this one. I really like the color palette of this design, so I use main colors from I use colors as main ones for my color palette for my client apps. So yeah, after you got some sort of idea of how you want your application to look like, you can start working on, I don't know what do they call it in English. If I'm not mistaken, there is an abbreviation FBL, but basically it is a set of tables that contain technical requirements, some descriptions for each feature, and the estimates, the time estimates, and maybe some notes regarding each feature of the project. So we'll jump to a table like this in a minute. Let me just go through this document and make sure that I didn't forget to show you The most important parts, yeah, I chose the tech stack for the web client, mobile client, and API. You can see it here. These are main technologies. Yeah, not all technologies are listed here, obviously, but only the main ones. And I have a section with some notes regarding the logic of the workflow. So, for example, we, we can have recurring, non-recurring transactions. We can have some planned income and costs. And here I just provide a couple of examples on which insights and metrics we can calculate based on some financial information, recurring variable transactions, how they will be handled in our application. There is a couple of approaches we may use, and so on and so forth. So I think that this is pretty much it for this document. Let's just go to the Google Sheets and take a look. Take a look at the project breakdown by milestones. Let's go to this document. So yeah, as you can see, I have 4,000 here. The first one is an overview, and it has all the calculations of time estimates. They are measured in hours, so um, we can gain some understanding of how much time it will take to implement the full scope of this project. In my case, the low case is 25.5 weeks and high case 38.2 weeks. So this project is quite uh, big and requires a lot of work, and it's not so perfect for I don't know, maybe starting off the initial steps if you want to implement some some product, software product that will generate you some income, because you may spend a couple of months and then it will turn out that your project isn't relevant and nobody wants to use it. But I will not be upset if the same will happen for this project, because I have at least one user and it's me. So I will use this product anyway, because there are a lot of situations when I want to have a product like this, because I'm having some problems with my financial management. So it will be entirely helpful for me. So here we also have ratios that I used for making estimates. It is high case ratio. So basically, I just came up with estimates for the low case, and then use this high case ratio to calculate the number of hours that will be required in a high case. And also, since I have mobile and web clients, in this project, I created the ratio which is equal to 0.75, and I use it to calculate the time estimates for the mobile client. So, for example, initially I created an estimate for the web client. I just enter some estimates for the low case manually. Then I just use the high case for calculating the high case. Then I take the low case for the web client and multiply it by my front-end reuse ratio to calculate the low case for the mobile client. And then I use my high case ratio and multiply it on the low case ratio for the mobile client, and yeah, calculate it as well. As you can see, I have 3 milestones in here, and yeah, these milestones contain epics. Each epic contains several features that are related to each other, that are in the same scope. And here we have just some notes, questions if you need to discuss that with somebody. For example, if you're working on some products, on some projects in a team. And then I have, time estimates for the backend part, front end part. In our case, it is the web client and the mobile client. Then some commands on what each single task uh, requires contained in its scope. So what needs to be implemented to be done in order to implement some feature, for example. And yeah, that's pretty much it. In the end, I have some total estimates for the low and high case. They include the low case, and it is just a sum of backend low case, front-end web low case, and front-end mobile low case, and the same thing for the high case. So yeah, um, three milestones, and in the first milestone, we work on the most fundamental and crucial features that our product um, have to contain, and then uh, build up some more complex logic based on the fundamental logic we implemented in the previous milestone. And the concept is pretty simple. And yeah, that's it for the analysis and validation phases. Then I just set up the environment, the development environment, and start working um, on these epics, on these milestones, step by step. For example, I use Notion for that purpose, and for example, I have a dedicated workspace for this project. Here it is, budgeting app. I have a backlog. Here you can see three milestones, and each milestone contains a set of tickets. They are divided by project parts, for example, API, mobile, and web. And here we have some more tables which contain task ID, title, task type, status, its status, priority, links to PRs, and the sprint they are attached to. Talking about sprints, I just have a table with sprints, and I can track the progress of every single sprint, and I'm finishing the first one, and then we'll move on to the golden sunrise. Some notes, for example, I planned, I came up with a brief plan on which tasks and which epics from the milestones will be implemented in each sprint, and the approximate number of hours a sprint may take. But it's not so important. It's important, but it's not so important to meet the deadlines of the of one sprint in isolation. The more important part and the more important thing is to meet the overall deadline. In our case, is the 25.5 weeks. In low case and high case, 38.2. But I'm planning to finish this project somewhere in the middle. I think it will be around maybe I don't know, maybe 32, 34 weeks, something like this. It will depend on the tasks I will have on other projects, because as you remember, I'm working in an IT company. So yeah, if I receive some tasks related to commercial projects, then I will definitely work on them first and then move on to my own project. So this is pretty much it, and I don't want this video to be too long, so I think that I will record the second part where I will show you how I set up my development processes and workflows, how I structure my work using GitHub, what project structures do I use, I use for each part of this application. And we'll see, maybe I will start recording some videos where I will show you how I implement each separate task, explaining and elaborating on decisions I made, why I made them, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I hope that this video will be helpful, at least for someone. Please write comments with your thoughts, with the description of your techniques and approaches. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a nice day and see you in the next video. Bye.